Installing WordPress on your GraceNet site is quite easy. So we're going to just show you the basics. Once you log into your control panel, your C panel for your GraceNet account, with the name and password that was assigned when you signed up for your hosting, simply scroll to the bottom of your control panel. You'll see at the bottom an area called Softaculous Apps Installer. WordPress is almost always the very first one on the left that or you may have to scroll through to see it, but it's almost always there. Just click on that icon. It'll bring up the WordPress installation screen. Once that's ready, all you have to do is make sure you're on the install button here. Click it, and it'll ask you a series of questions that all you have to do is answer, and I'll point out some things that can cause you issues if you're not aware of them. First of all, this allows you to choose between non-HTTPS, non-secure, and secure HTTPS connections. You always want to choose the HTTPS. You can choose it with or without the www. Whichever way you choose it is the way it's going to force all connections to be when people connect to your site. Your domain name will be listed here. If you have more than one domain name, it'll allow you to choose from a list. In this case, normally there's one. You leave that alone. Now this is important. Watch this. Where it says in directory, the installer will put WordPress in whichever directory you have in this space. If it doesn't exist, it will create it and then put WordPress in it. So here is said that it defaults to a WP for WordPress folder. If you're going to make your website actually be the WordPress site, which is more and more common these days, you'll want to actually delete everything from that so that it installs WordPress right at the top level of your hosting account. Now, if you want it to be, if you're adding WordPress as a secondary site, like a blog or some other on a secondary place to have a WordPress install other than on the main directory, you'll then want to put here, you might put anything you want. You can call it anything. You can call it SEP, you can call it WP. It doesn't care what you call it. It'll create that folder and put it in there for you. Normally, if it's your main site, you don't want anything there. Here you can put anything here you want. You can change this after WordPress is installed, but this just is what it appears at the top of your page, of your home page, until you change it. This is not really that big of a deal. You'll change it easily once you've got WordPress installed. This is the other important thing, the administration account, the admin account. Never use the word admin as the actual account. It is a target for hackers. Don't do that. Add something to that to make it specific. In other words, you might add your name. As an example, you might put John-admin, or the first few letters of your domain name -admin, anything like that. You don't even have to use the word admin. You can eliminate it completely. That'll make it much more difficult for hackers to find your site and get into the login system of your site. Make sure when you assign the password that you assign a password that's strong. In other words, that has to have uppercase, lowercase letters, some special characters like exclamation points or parentheses marks, and you continue to add characters until it goes to the word strong here. Once strong is there, it tells you your password is acceptable. So once you've got it, make sure you write it down, because it's not going to appear ever again. You might be in problem if you don't have it. Write that down, copy and paste it is the better idea. Also, make sure your administration email is an email that actually works. Sometimes it's not even good to have it at the same site as your WordPress site. You might want to have, if you have a Gmail account, if you have another GraceNet email account, put that there rather than accepting what it puts there for you, unless that account exists. If that account exists, you can use that account. It's okay. But we recommend that you make sure that this account actually exists, because things will be sent there that are important. When you scroll down a little further, under Advanced Options, click that. We recommend that you click the Auto Upgrade so that WordPress is automatically upgraded to the newest version when it becomes available. We also suggest you do auto upgrade plugins so that the plugins continue to be upgraded. The reason we do this is there are occasionally, every once in a long while, there could be a problem with this, but most of the time it does not create any problems for you, and it continually upgrades. 90% of all WordPress updates for the main program and for plugins are security updates. to make sure that they're secure and hackers have more and more problems getting into them. So you want those updated. If you don't do this, you can forget to update and you can be in trouble. Here's another one for auto-updating the themes. We suggest that too, unless the theme owner, writer, or creator tells you that that's not a good idea. We don't suggest you use backup systems like that are built in here. You can if you want to. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's a little box that tells you a little bit about each thing, but we don't recommend that. Get a backup plugin for your WordPress site that does it better. And scroll down, you can choose a theme here. If you see something you like, you can change it anytime you want to, or you can just leave it alone and not choose one of these. Once you're ready, you can have the information you're creating emailed to a specific address. Type it in there if you want it. If not, just click install, and what will happen, in this case it has an email address is not valid because they didn't put one in there. There you go. It's protecting me a little bit. So when I go back up here, here's my admin email. I'm going to put our support email address in there. It warns me if I'm wrong. In that case I was wrong, and here we go. It's installing. And once the installation is complete, you'll see this kind of a screen right here. It says congratulations, it was installed. And it'll notice this, WordPress has been installed at, and gives you the address. If you click that, it'll take you to that site for your home, to see your home page as if it was live on the internet. Your administrative URL, this is important. This is how you get to manage your WordPress site. Click on that, it'll take you to the admin, and if you do this right after you've made an installation, usually it doesn't make you log in. Sometimes it does, most of the time it just goes right into the WordPress administration area to start working. As long as you have recorded your password, you can go to this URL anytime and log in with the administration name and the password that you created when you installed WordPress. And you're ready to get started. That's all there's to it.